Hope you guys are good. I hope you're warm. And I'm glad you're here with us this morning. It's Bobby and Friends. Let's do the news.
Bobby's Big
Story.
We'll start with what's happening to us here. As I'm at home, Amy's at home. We're all just kind of locked in because of the winter blast. But the brutal winter blast still has millions without power. Now, we've been lucky where I have all my power. I have a lot of friends that don't have all the power right now. As people are still struggling to stay warm today, forecasters say 115 million Americans from Texas to Massachusetts are on the path of a new storm packing snow and ice. At last check, power is out to nearly 3 million people in just Texas alone. Some people have been without power since Monday when the storm hit. They're investigating in Texas why a lot of my Texas friends are without power. I was literally looking at my friend Lauren Petrowski, who lives in Austin, who was on Fox for a long time. And she's like, hey, we haven't had power in forever. They finally got the fireplace up and running. But I saw that, and just best wishes to all you folks out there battling this in some way or another. We haven't left the house. We're going to try to make that Kroger run today, if possible. We're really considering it. We're just out of food. So, yeah, everybody out there that's dealing with this, man, wishing the best for you over the next couple of days. Jeep owners give healthcare workers rides to work in bad weather. I saw this. When snow and ice made road conditions dangerous in New Albany, Indiana, a bunch of Jeep owners got together and saved the day. The Southern Indiana Jeep Members Group volunteered to give healthcare workers rides to and from work, back and forth to the hospital, which I thought was really cool. In our local Jeep club, Eddie said, hey, I'll go and get your groceries yesterday.
Yes, and you declined my offer,
Well,
which is cool.
I felt bad. The grocery stores are packed. You had 4 kids at home. You'd been at my house all day.
You know, like on the way home, too, I saw a bunch of people walking from their houses to the grocery store, and I offered a couple people, I'm like, hey, get in, man. Like, I'll take you to the grocery store. They're like, no, we like it. Snow's fun. Like, okay. So they didn't take me up on it either.
The weird thing is here it's supposed to hit us again, like this afternoon or tonight, and then you're just kind of locked in again. Yeah.
Oh, man. I missed that.
You missed the weather.
All you have to do is go click, click. It's all right there. It's all at the palm of your fingertips. And then finally, a power outage forced health officials to administer 5,400 vaccines. They said it looks like the scene from a zombie movie in a rush to get it. Here you go. Here's a clip.
As we started to run, we weren't really that many people around us. And then as we got closer, people just started streaming out of the woodworks. And then it was like an absolute mad dash toward the end. There was just tons of people running across fields and stuff. It was a dash.
It was sort of like those post-apocalyptic movies where you have to see like people in the streets just running, and then people are like, why are they running? And then they look up and like, oh no. It was like that, but we were all running forward.
Everyone trying to get that vaccine. There's a power outage in Houston. We're talking about Texas, where the freezers went down. And they have thousands of doses. Oof. And they're going, hey, they get online. If you want it, come and get it. And so, like they said, there are people running from all angles in order to get it. They scrambled to administer over 8,000 doses of the vaccine before they all started to thaw out. 5,410 were distributed, which is that number I read up there earlier. But there were like 3,000 that went bad because they couldn't get them all in time. Can you imagine, too, how rapid those nurses, I'm assuming it's nurses giving the shots. I mean, they're just like, boom, boom.
Thank you, next. Thank you, next.
Just popping folks with the needles. There you go. That's the news. Thank you.
Bobby's Big
Story.
Call us, questions, comments, 877-77-BOBBY. That's our phone number, 877-77-BOBBY. Here is Lee Bryce, one of them girls, Bobby Bones Show.
show.
All right, call us if you want. We'd love to hear from you. 877-77-Bobby. I do want to play this because after we finished the show yesterday, we walked out, got a swimming pool over here, and tried to get Eddie to walk across the pool. Now, for all our friends in Wisconsin or Boston, like, we get it, things freeze over there. They never freeze over here. Where we live, they never freeze over. So we're like, wow, can we walk across this pool? And so I said, Eddie, here's some money if you can walk across the pool and do a double axle. But again, you can see it on my TikTok at Mr. Bobby Bones. But here is Eddie trying to walk across my swimming pool.
Okay, here we go. I'm walking across, right? Oh my gosh, this is crazy. Okay, where do I do the double axle? Right here?
In the middle. Keep going. Go to the right.
Worried about.
You got to get over on the double axle. Go.
Right here, ready?
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I don't know about this.
Go.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
Go on. No, Eddie. Okay, go.
That good?
You're good. Get over there.
good?
Get over there. Oh, God. Oh, God. He made it!
Now how do I get back?
You can hear at one point, I genuinely am concerned you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Because you started going, it's cracking. It's
Did
cracking.
you hear the cracking? You really
No.
couldn't hear from that clip.
But what you don't see in that clip is I fell before we went out there.
It's the best. I mean, it was the first thing we did. Let's go outside to get this video, and Bobby eats it on the step.
I slipped, and I thought it hurt my wrist, but I wiped out. My shoes went flying off my feet.
He had slippers on.
Yes. All right, hold on. We'll come back in just 1 second. saw this story about this giant hairball, and it's laying in this pan. And I'm like, where did that hairball come from? But it's this 17-year-old kid who had been eating her hair, and they pulled out a 1.5-foot long hairball that had torn through her stomach. It's called Rapunzel syndrome, which means she compulsively eats her own hair. She ate enough of it that it was 19 inches long and weighed like 2.5 pounds. I just wrapped up hairball. Amy, didn't you used to eat your hair?
No. I would pull my hair out. It's very different.
And you wouldn't eat it after that?
No, never eat it. And now I've gotten to where I just pull at it. I don't like pull it out. It's not as satisfying though.
I bite my fingernails. If you look at my hands today, I have Band-Aids all over them because the Arkansas game got very close last night, the basketball game, and I just go to town. My fingernails are basically corn on the cob when I get nervous watching Arkansas sports.
You literally bite your fingernails when you're nervous.
Yeah, off. You know how cartoons feel like, that's what I do. Caitlin saw me putting Band-Aids on my hands last night, and she was like, were you watching the game? I was like, yeah.
Dang, dude.
I do. I go hard. I go hard at everything I do. I'm dedicated.
Yeah.
Let's do Thomas Rhett, What's Your Country Song? Bobby Bone Show. Thank you, guys.
Coming from the Bass Pro Shops and Cabela Studio on Music Row, we are the Bobby Bone Show.
That's right.
All right, in this segment, there's a Russian woman who's had 11 babies at age 23. We'll talk about that. A barber trips and accidentally stabs himself. We'll talk about that. And an Alaska guy's concerned he may have gotten frostbite on his blank. We'll talk about that. So all that in this segment. Let's go to Sarah in Kansas, who wants to talk about Amy's daughter who put an entire metal bowl in the microwave, almost blew up the house. Hey, Sarah, what do you want to say about that?
Hey, I just wanted to say that you can use aluminum foil in the microwave. And I know that because I have a microwave cookbook, and I used to cook my turkey in the microwave, and you actually put aluminum foil on the ends of the legs when you cook it.
So maybe just a little bit of foil doesn't catch you're not going to catch me putting any foil in the microwave after today. That's great. I'm sure if you know the exact amount to put in there, good for you. But not for me. I'm going to wrap a whole thing up and send it in there.
Yeah.
And then it's going to look like a bomb went off in the house. I appreciate that. But you say you can put a little bit of foil, just not a lot?
Yes, you just wrap around the ends of the legs on the turkey or the chicken.
Got it.
And you actually cook the turkey or chicken in the microwave. And that was actually in my microwave cookbook when I bought my microwave.
Risky?
Might have been before they really knew about microwaves and foil.
Maybe.
Yeah, right.
Right. Hey, thank you for the call, Sarah. Really appreciate that. Have a good day.
You're welcome. Thank you. Stay warm.
Bye-bye. We will try. We are trying to stay warm. Again, yesterday as we're trying to walk across the pool, we have these steps that were leading us out to the pool. And I was so excited that Eddie was going to walk across it. I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. I just walked down the steps, but I had slippers on, and they probably shot out from underneath me 10 feet.
Yeah.
I fell so hard, and my legs went up in the air. Thank God I didn't land on, like, a bone.
Are you okay? Because
my wrist is sore.
Grab your wrist a little bit.
My wrist is sore, but I'm okay. A woman has 11 babies at the age of 23. It's hard to believe, but in Russia, 23-year-old Christina Ozturk has become a mother of 11 babies, and she's given birth to another baby. She was 17 when she had her first. But how is that possible?
What do you mean?
Well, if she was 17 when she had her first.
Oh, 9 months in between all of them. Well, it'd be 9 months after that.
There's got to be
so
some
that'd be
twins
one.
in
Triplets.
here too, right? Okay, hold on.
Oh.
But after Christina married 56-year-old millionaire husband Gallup Ozturk, she turned to, surrogate mothers as well. So she has 11 kids.
Okay.
Got it. The math just wasn't adding up to me once I saw the headline.
See, you're good at math. I was just like, cool, makes sense to me.
No, see, I thought there's no way that's going to happen. However, that's a lot of kids. You're 23, you have 11 babies. That is a lot of kids. There was a barber in Boston who's lucky to be alive. After an accident in his barber shop, he accidentally stabbed himself in the chest with his own scissors.
Dang.
He was walking around his chair and he tripped and landed on top of his shears. The scissors had actually pierced an artery. He needed open heart surgery, but he's going to be okay. Quick thinking for those people around him helped save him.
Wow.
But don't we always learn when you're cutting hair in a barbershop, don't run with your scissors towards your heart. It was always don't run with scissors, right?
Yes.
Anybody? Did your
Yeah,
parents
of
always say
course,
that?
yes.
You guys are leaving me here just hanging out.
No, I have. I have to tell my kids that.
Finally, there's a guy who in Alaska thinks his wiener's frostbitten. Right.
Right. How's that possible?
Most of the United States is really cold right now, historically freezing. Some areas are finding themselves dealing with issues that never happened there, like here at my house. Iced, snowed in, we're stuck. It's just the nature of what's happening right now. We're dealing with it best we can. There's a guy in Alaska, and he had to go to the internet for advice. He and his lady were heading out for a weekend getaway. He doesn't like being bundled up in the car, so he's wearing a light jacket. Along the way, they saw two old ladies who were in trouble because their SUV had gotten stuck in a snowdrift. So our guy hopped out and spent 20 minutes getting the ladies unstuck. But there was a downside. His legs were a extremely red, rosy color from being out in the frigid air so long. But I'll say this. The tips of my fingers still, me from being in Iowa, I don't have all of my feeling back in them. And who knows? I may never again. But let's say the tip of his finger is doing the same thing and was discolored. Now, but I'm not talking about his finger.
Okay, I got you.
He said
You're talking
the
about
same
his
way.
finger.
Yeah, like my fingers are numb with a slight tingle. He said the top of his quote unquote finger feels tingly, but he thinks it's frostbitten. So that stinks. And it also, too, goes to show, because I do this as well. Sometimes I'll get in the car and I won't dress for the weather outside the car. I'll dress because I know what's going to happen in the car. I'm going to go and probably start it early. It's going to be warm inside the car. So that's all I deal with. But you shouldn't. You know, we read these stories of people who get trapped and they have a can of beans in their car. And they're able to live for 3 days in the snow because they had a can of beans and a cracker. I don't have anything in my car. I got an old cowboy hat and a book. I'm going to tell you, that ain't going to keep me alive very long. Here is Pam in Tupelo, Mississippi, who is on the phone. Hello, Pam.
Good morning, studio.
Morning.
Hi. My question is for Bobby and Eddie. I watched the video of Eddie walking across the pool, and pretty good pirouette, by the way. And I want to know, did you have your pool cover on your pool and it was covered with snow and ice, or was your pool completely frozen?
Completely frozen. There is no pool cover on it. I don't own a pool cover.
Yeah, do you even know like what that does or
No,
why you need that? Yeah.
I don't know anything about pools.
Right.
Only till recently have I had a swimming pool, like the last couple of years, because we grew up. There was one kid in our town that had a pool, and it was an above-ground pool, and he was the coolest kid. Everybody wanted to be his friend in the summer, and the cool kids got invited over to his house. I never did. But no, it was not a pool cover. So it was straight up. It's frozen through. Today he'll try a triple axle.
Oh, no, I will not.
Did your wife see that video?
Yes, she did. She's like, this is what you did at work today? I'm like, yeah, that's part of it.
Pam, how's the weather in Tupelo?
We're frozen in.
You are?
My driveway is like a ski slope. We can't go anywhere. Fortunately, we worked from home for so long from the pandemic. I still had my laptop and everything set up here, so we're still able to work, but there's no going anywhere.
Yeah,
And we've
it's
got
a bit.
Wi-Fi, so it'll leave here and head your way.
Yes. No, don't send it our way. But, like Amy can't get out of her driveway right now because Amy was going to try, because she lives close to where I live, she was going to try to drive over to my house, and at least we could work in the same room today. But Amy almost hit a tree backing out of her driveway. Is that true?
Yeah, I almost hit a tree in my front yard because I slid off my driveway, and I was like, oh, this could get embarrassing. So I stopped driving.
And you haven't left the house at all?
No, and we have no food. Like, of course, the one night last night, my kids are asking for broccoli. They never do. We have no food, no fresh food. So I was like, oh, yeah, no, don't eat broccoli. Here's some candy. You're fine.
Oh, you fed them candy for dinner.
I mean, all processed. Like, all we have is prepackaged processed stuff because I have nothing fresh.
We have almost no food. Caitlin's at the point now where she's going to – I'll tell you what I ate this morning for breakfast. There was like a quarter of a box of cereal that I must have bought 6 months ago. It was some kind of odd Cheerio flavor, like some kind of honey. It wasn't Honey Nut Cheerios, but it was something. Huh. And so it was the most stale, small, the very bottom of the box where some of the Cheerios are broken up into small little pieces. I had that, and everybody was like rubbery / extra hard. So that's what I had for breakfast this morning, but we're going to try to go to the grocery store today. We're going to go together. One of us was going to go. We were going to do president, vice president, where at least if one of us goes and they get in trouble, the other one's here with the dogs. Because, the president and vice president are never together. But for that reason, if something happens to both of them, we're just kind of screwed. But I think we're going to go together and try to knock it out. Because we just see too many people driving in twos out on the road. And we're gonna team up and go to the grocery store. And we're going to get meat. Good. Because, again, we're basically making stew of what we have left over at the house right now. And then another big storm's coming up this evening here. All right, that's what's up. You guys hit us up if you want. 877-77-BOBBY. Be right back. Here's some voicemails we got last night. Number 1 is in regards to the dumbest fight you ever got into with your significant other. I posted a clip on my TikTok about Caitlin and I's dumb fight. It was over Olive Garden soup. But this is Alex. Here you go.
Hi, the Lizanne Show. The strangest fight that me and my boyfriend ever had was that we fought about how long the contestants on Survivor filmed and how long it takes to edit until they produce it on TV. Anyways, it was the dumbest fight ever, and it lasted for about a couple hours. Just one of us thought that it lasted about a year to film and edit, and then one of us thought it was only a few months. So it ended up being somewhere in the middle, but it was our strangest fight.
Yeah, it's a pretty strange fight. And the answer is probably the editing is the hard part. That's what takes the longest. They can shoot that thing in a few months, but it takes, a significant amount of time to edit that thing too. Here is Lindsay from Boston.
I just have a good tip for y'all when driving in the snow. If you're starting to feel yourself spin out, if the back end is spinning and going to the right, turn your wheel to the right and lift off the gas a little bit. Never slam on your brakes. That is New England driver 101 when it comes to snow. Do not hit on your brakes and just let off the gas and always look at where you want to go. All right, have a good one.
I just would be thinking, all right, back in. There's too much thinking for me if that happens. When I took my CDL test, brakes are the enemy whenever it comes to water or ice. Even if there's an accident in the road ahead of you sometimes the worst thing you can do is slam on your brakes. Sometimes, oddly, the best thing you can do is just go around it. Like, continue your forward momentum. But yeah, snow, I stink when it comes to sliding. Because I'm just like, I just throw my hands up and I just go, you know what, God, take me away.
It's over.
You know what? I got myself here. I'm happy to see what happens now. Here is Tim from South Florida.
Bones, I just want to let you know, the people that got rescued by the Coast Guard, what they were eating is actually pronounced conch, not conch. Also wanted to let you know it was like 80 degrees here today. Yeah! Stay warm. Stay safe. Love the show.
Again, I didn't even know what that was. I was talking about how these people were stranded and they ate a bunch of, as I said, conch, because that's how it's spelled. But thank you to Tim in South Florida who was able to right my ship. It's called conch. But it is spelled conch. I just didn't know what it was. Here is Erica from Pittsburgh.
Morning, studio. I watched the TikTok video of Eddie walking across the pool. I was dying laughing. It was so funny. But I continued to take a deep dive into Eddie's TikTok, and I saw a really interesting video that he posted back in January. He said it was of his neighbor's property, and there was a tiger walking around. So I just want to know, was that real? Was that really his neighbor's house? What is going on with that? All right, thanks. I can't wait to hear more info about it. Talk to you later.
Go ahead, Eddie.
So when I first got TikTok, I started watching everyone's videos, and I realized quickly that it's all a bunch of tricks. Like, people like to trick you and like, ooh, I found this wire in my yard. And you follow it for like 3 videos, and it's nothing at the end. So I was at the zoo, and it kind of looked like I was in my neighborhood. And I got a video. I'm like, oh, my gosh, my neighbor has a tiger. And I just posted it, wanted to see what people thought. It never caught on.
It did.
That's the story.
And listen, we're so snowed in right now. We're just looking for stuff to do.
Right.
I mean, we're at home going, what do we do? Luckily, I have this little studio in my house now. Because of COVID, we've had to develop a lot of ways to do shows other than just driving in. But I was thinking once when I was maybe 19 years old and I was living at home in Hot Springs, Arkansas, we had a huge snowstorm where they were like, okay, the snow and the ice is coming, get to the radio station. So I drove at like 2 in the morning to 105.9 KLAZ, which was my station forever, the first station I started on. And so we got there probably 2:30, and the storm moved in that morning. But we were snowed in for 5 days. It was me and another friend. We did every shift. We were so tired. There were no showers in that building. We were so tired and so just musty from stinking. We would go, and at first we would do, okay, you do 6 hours, I'll do 6 hours. But there weren't cell phones to play games. There was just books. Ugh. And so we'd read books, and it went from 6 to 6 to 4 to 4. Then we were just like sleeping for 2 hours and trading and going on the air delirious. Finally, when the snow melted, we left. We were on the air for almost 5 days straight. Awful and awesome at the same time. And I remember too, like this is like early spring when we got the snowstorm. And so there was an AM station in our building, and they ran St. Louis Cardinal baseball. And so if you're from Arkansas, most Arkansans, I'm a Cubs fan, but most Arkansans are Cardinal fans because we used to have the farm club that went into the Cardinals. And also geographically, it's the closest team just about. And so we ran the Cardinals on the AM station, and there would be the crowd and the announcers. And you hear the announcers go, all right, 3-2, here's the pitch. And you could always kind of hear the crowd through the microphone. I was so bored sitting at the station when the games would come on in the evening. I would go and sit behind the microphone at the AM station while the announcers were doing the games and be like, all right, here we go. It's a 3-1 count. Again, you can hear the crowd murmurs, but I would scoot back and act like I was in the crowd and be shouting stuff.
You're so
like
dumb.
The microphones could hear me. I would be like, you suck, Ozzie Smith! And I hope people thought I was just someone in the crowd. I'd be like, let me get some of those peanuts. Hey, how many peanuts are in a bag? So I'm trolling the people that were listening to the AM station.
So dumb.
Then there was also this channel, and I think every town, I don't know if every big city does, but if you're in a small town like I grew up in, there was always this channel. I think it was Channel 5 on our cable system, and it just showed the time, and like you could buy like little advertisements, and words would just every 30 seconds it would change. It would be like at the Chamber of Commerce this week, and then the next one would be like over at Doug's Pretzel Stand, and so it showed the time, the weather, and just some words. And so they ran the AM station on this channel too, and so I thought, man, what would be funny is if I got on at like 1 in the morning, because who gets stuck on that station unless you're flipping through channels and you pass out drunk or something. And so I would get behind the microphone and I would go, hey, why are you watching this channel right now?
Stop it. Yeah.
It's 2 in the morning. There's no reason for you to watch this. It's Channel 5, man. Like, there's nothing on Channel 5 right now. It's just words. Why are you watching me? And I would just hope that someone would trip over that and go, oh my God, the TV's talking to me. I had way too much to drink.
One of those drunk guys.
Yes. I never heard from one. But that's my last big snowstorm in radio. That's what I did. Just mess with people. Because that's what we do here. All right. Thank you. Gabby Barrett, I hope. Bobby Bone Show.